I'm just going to run through a quick example that illustrates type conversions in C# and the try-catch statement. So suppose I want to make a program that inputs three user numbers, calculates their sum, and then displays the output. So I'm going to rename my text boxes to something intuitive here. So I'm going to say this one's input 1, and this one's input 2, and this one's input 3. And I do that with the name property here. And then this one, I'm going to call it output. So I do the same thing here. And say I want to change the text in this button to calculate. You can do that there. Okay, so double click on the button and you get to the code here. So if we want to protect against invalid inputs, I can do this simply just by making a try-catch statement. So I'm going to say I'm going to try something first, and then if it goes wrong, I'm going to stop the program and display, for example, an error message. So I'm going to make a message box, and when something goes wrong, I'm going to show a string or a message that says invalid. Okay, there we go. There we go, I've just protected against some inputs. It's pretty simple for this program. So, getting to the code, if I just make a few double variables, I'm going to call them in1, in2, in3, and result. Now, in1, 2, and 3, those are going to correspond to my text box inputs here. 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to want to display result in that text box. Okay, so when anything's typed in the text box, it's going to be a string, even if it's a double that's typed in there. So I'm going to have to convert that to a double so that I can assign it to my in1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to say, first of all, in1 is equal to convert dot to double in input1 dot text. That convert to double is essentially a method that inputs a string argument. So the string is going to be the input1 dot text, the text property of the input1 text box. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing for in2. Okay, double. Okay. And the same for in3. Okay, so now those are all doubles there, and I can do my simple arithmetic. I can just take their sum and store it in result equals in1 plus in2 plus in3. Okay. Now to display result, the result is a double obviously, so I'm going to have to convert that to a string. I can do that simply by saying okay, well, I'm going to say output, that's the name of my text box, dot text. Now I can assign it another string. So I'm going to have to either convert that result to a string the same way. I can do this, dot to string, and then I can say result, this. Or it's also a bit easier to just use the concatenation operation. So I can say this plus result. So this is essentially a string with nothing in it, and the result concatenated to it. That's an implicit string conversion. So now my program should work fine, so let's try it out. Say 30, whatever, any input here, 7, yep, that's right. Okay, so now let's error test it. So say I have another string here that's other characters, and I get some numbers, and okay, and I get my error box. So that's right. So I hope you enjoyed my first tutorial, and good luck.